From waste bin to world billionaire, the night in Ajagunle did not sleep. It roared. It was a place where the air smelled of burning rubber, rotting garbage, and cheap gin, where gunshots sounded like firecrackers, and human life was worth less than the scraps people fought over. My name is Maya. This is your boy, and this is my African Folktales reality story seed. And enjoy it. Let's continue. At 22 years old, Gok knew every corner of this hell. He was a refuse carrier, one of the invisible souls who dragged heavy, stinking sacks of waste through muddy, potholed streets from dusk till dawn. His clothes were always torn and stained, his hands cracked and blackened by dirt, his feet wrapped in worn-out rubber slippers that let in the mud and water. He slept under a broken wooden bridge, on a bed of old sacks and cardboard, with nothing but the stars and the constant noise of violence for company. Around him, the slum was a jungle. Gangs ruled the alleyways, fighting bloody battles over tiny territories or drug sales. Robbers lurked in shadows, attacking anyone who looked like they might have even a few naira. Young boys, some younger than 15, were already addicted to hard drugs, their eyes hollow, their bodies thin and shaking. Death was normal. People were stabbed, shot, or beaten to death over arguments that started for no reason at all. Every single day, Goke saw friends and neighbors swallowed by this darkness. Some joined gangs just to survive. Others gave up and let the drugs kill them. But Gok never did. While others fought or stole or got high, he kept his head down, his eyes fixed on one thing: I will not die here. I will not be buried in this dirt. He worked harder than anyone else. He woke up before 3 a.m. when the silence was only broken by distant shouts or barking dogs, and walked miles to collect waste from markets, houses, and workshops. He carried loads so heavy they bent his back and made his arms ache for hours. He ate only once a day, usually stale bread or leftover food he found in bins, saving every single coin he earned, even the smallest change, into an old metal box hidden under his bedding. People laughed at him. Goki, you are carrying the whole world on your back, they would say. You will never get rich from garbage. Join us, take what you want, leave fast. But Goki only shook his head. He knew that the easy way led to an early grave. He had seen too many people take that path and end up dead in a gutter. His mother, who had died when he was 16, had told him, no matter how low you are, no matter what you carry, keep your hands clean and your mind sharp. Opportunity does not shout. It waits for those who are watching. The turning point. It was past midnight, on a rainy Tuesday, the kind of night when the sky poured water, like it wanted to wash the whole slum away. Gok was dragging his last sack of waste toward the main dump site, his body soaked to the bone, cold and tired to his bones. He stopped beside a large, rusted metal bin near the edge of the wealthy district, where the big houses stood behind high walls, far from the noise and dirt. He lifted the heavy lid to throw in his load, and something caught his eye. Deep inside, half buried under old papers, torn bags, and food scraps, was a thick, black plastic bag, tied tight and heavy. Curious, he reached in and pulled it out. It felt strange, too heavy for trash, too solid. He wiped the mud off with his hands, his heart beating fast for no reason he could explain. When he untied the knot and opened it, his breath stopped. Inside were bundles and bundles of cash. Not just a few naira notes, stacks of crisp, new bills, bound together. Millions of naira. So much money he could not even count it all at once. It was enough to feed every family in the slum for a year, enough to buy a house, a car, a new life, enough to make him a rich man overnight. For a moment, fear froze him. Who would throw away this much money? Was it stolen? Was it a trap? He looked around wildly, rain pouring down, the streets empty, only darkness and shadows. He stood there, shivering, holding a fortune in his dirty hands, while only a few meters away, he heard loud shouting and the sound of broken glass. Another fight starting, another life in danger. Most people would have run. Most would have hidden it, spent it fast, or used it to escape immediately. But Goke stood still. He thought about everything he had seen, how quick money turned people cruel, how wealth without sense was just a faster way to destroy yourself. He remembered his mother's words. He did not run. Instead, he wrapped the bag tight, hid it deep inside his own sack of garbage, covered it with waste so no one would suspect, and walked slowly, carefully, back to his spot under the bridge. He did not sleep that night. He sat awake, guarding it, thinking, planning, his mind clearer than it had ever been. This is not just money, he told himself. This is a chance. But if I waste it, I will be right back here, or worse, dead. The rice. First thing at dawn, he did not spend a single naira. Instead, he took just a small part of the money, enough to start, and went to the city's industrial area. He had spent years touching, carrying, and seeing every kind of waste: plastic, metal, paper, glass, electronics. He knew exactly what people threw away, and he knew that most of it was not trash. It was raw material waiting to be used again. While others saw only dirt, Goke saw gold. I am sure you are enjoying the story. Before we continue the story, please do well to subscribe to this channel. We appreciate your support.
He bought a small, broken-down truck and hired 2 young men, boys he knew from the slum, who had also refused to join gangs or take drugs. He told them, "We do not steal. We do not fight. We work. We turn what they throw away into something they will pay for." He started small, collecting plastic waste, cleaning it, shredding it, and selling it to factories that turned it into new materials. He expanded fast, adding metal recycling, paper processing, electronic waste recovery. Every profit he made, he put straight back into the business. He did not buy fancy clothes or big houses yet. He still lived simply, still worked alongside his team, still knew every part of the operation. But the slum did not let go easily. Enemies came. Gang leaders tried to force him to pay protection money, threatening to burn his trucks or kill his workers. Robbers attacked his offices twice. People tried to cheat him, or trick him, or pull him into illegal deals that promised fast cash. Every time, Goke stood firm. He never raised a hand in anger, never fought back with violence, never broke the law. Instead, he hired security, built strong systems, and worked even harder. He kept his focus sharp as a blade. He studied books on business, engineering, and trade every night, learning things no one had ever taught him. He traveled to other parts of Nigeria, then to other countries, seeing how waste was managed worldwide, learning new technologies, making connections, from millions to billions. Within 5 years, the small operation had grown into Goke Global Recycling and Resources, a company with branches across West Africa, Europe, Asia, and North America. He did not just collect trash anymore. He built recycling plants, developed clean energy solutions from waste, created new materials that were sold to big international companies. He became a pioneer in environmental technology, known worldwide not just for his wealth, but for his vision. He became a billionaire. He owned skyscrapers, factories, and ships. He walked in boardrooms with presidents and CEOs, but he never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the smell of the waste, the cold nights under the bridge, the sound of gunfire, the hunger in his stomach. He never forgot that the money he found in that bin was not luck. It was a test, and he had passed it by staying true to who he was. Even now, when he returns to Ajegunle, he walks the same streets he used to drag his sacks through. He built schools, hospitals, and safe housing there. He created thousands of jobs, giving young people the same chance he had to work, to learn, to rise above the violence and poverty. He tells them, "I did not get rich because I found money. I got rich because even when everything around me was falling apart, even when people were killing and stealing and destroying themselves, I kept my mind focused. I kept my hands honest. I kept seeing value where others saw only dirt." Ending Oke's story is not just about a boy who found a fortune in a waste bin. It is about a young man who survived the hardest, most dangerous place in the world, who lived through chaos and violence every single day and never let it change him. He turned the thing everyone looked down on, waste, into a global empire. He turned survival into success, and he proved one truth, as powerful as it is simple: where you start does not matter. What you carry does not matter. What matters is what you keep inside your head and how you choose to use every chance you get.